Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm here with, you guessed it, my husband, Nicholas.
Your favorite.
We are here to talk about several questions that we get often within our DMs, Twitter, whatever platform. And we hope that you guys can just see this as our experience and that maybe it teaches you something new, or hopefully if you do get offended by something, you don't hold it against us.
Please don't.
You know? Because I feel like right now, especially, people just get, you know, they get a little hot and heavy, and then they leave, and then they say something mean. Let's ask them, first of all, to give a thumbs up for videos like this, because we need more people.
If you're not subscribed, then like you're not part of the fam. And if you're not part of the fam, then like whose fam are you a part of?
Well, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to see more videos from us.
What else do they have to hit? What else do they have to hit? Tell them.
You know what? I hate saying it.
No, tell them.
But
tell them.
The bell is there.
Push the subscribe button, then push the bell button.
Good.
Then you will be
good
part
stuff.
of family. Okay.
Okay.
How you doing?
All right. So.
Oh.
What?
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. I like your lipstick.
Thank you. I wear it all the time.
Question one. How many kids / when will you have kids?
So we've had this conversation a few times. We're both on the same page of like when we want to have kids, and I think that's pretty important to be on the same page there.
Like anywhere between like 26 to like first kid, anywhere between like 26 to 28.
I don't have the answer to that. Is there something else I can help you with?
I don't want to have a kid who's like been an engineer for 19 years and then have a 2-year-old running around. So
it's too big of a gap, but at the same time we don't want to have them like bam bam bam.
Do that again? Like what?
Like in a row a lot, you know?
Like
your ducks.
No, but the sound effect, that's what I was needing. With the do that again.
Bam bam bam.
Bam bam bam. If life goes as planned. Yes. And then how many? I would say 2 to 3, no more than 3. I'd be happy with 2, and then I'd also be happy with 3, but I don't want more than 3.
A very big topic that people like to dive into whenever they see someone getting married young is they usually ask a question along the lines of, do you get bored or tired of the same person? And how did you know that they were the right one? So I can answer the first part of that like that.
Bam bam chicken in hand?
Yeah. I would say no, you don't get bored of the same person, because first of all, you have made so many memories with this person already, and you love them for being them. But the beautiful part, I think, is the fact that you're always changing, and I'm always changing. And I think that scares a lot of people. It's like, what if she or he changes to where we're just not compatible anymore? And what I say to that is, like, when you are in close proximity with another person and you're living a day-to-day life with another person, then you are going to change and evolve in similar ways. That's what we've noticed about our relationship, but that's what I would see in our future too, is like that would probably happen.
Yeah, the whole idea of like changing to not be compatible with another human being at all versus when you once were completely, I just don't think it makes sense, because like you were saying, when you're in proximity to another person and you're living healthy lives. Now I think if someone has like bad habits and the other person's trying to go one direction and there's like difference, then I think that could cause that. But I think when you're both going in a healthy direction, you're both healthy people, you both make good decisions, I think it's really hard when you're making those decisions together to eventually just somehow come apart. I think the biggest thing is when you start doing stuff apart from one another. Then I think that's kind of where you start running into problems. Like if you start making financial decisions on your own, and decisions with your kids on your own, and life decisions on your own.
Just like really big things that usually married people do together. To people who don't have that mindset, it's extra hard to stay close together and to just have a healthy marriage, because those things are meant to be
and we practice that in dating, to where like we had the same mindset of being like a team. Just something that I love that scripture says, there's wisdom in much counsel, so which means that you can make better choices when there's more people involved in the decisions you make. So,
not just any people.
Yeah.
There was a comment that was on a video that I recently released with my brother. I hadn't done a video with him in a long time, but it was totally related to this video. This person said, "This is off topic, but from the video, the whole idea of waiting to have sex till marriage gave me a new perspective, and I would like that. But what if after marriage you and your wife are both sexually incompatible? Could this be prevented or fixed during marriage?" So that's a heavy question. I feel like there's several questions embedded in that, but I think what this person is really getting at is, how can you marry someone without knowing that you're sexually compatible with another person?
I think the whole like test drive the car model is really stupid, because you're not dealing with an inanimate object when you're dealing with a human soul.
I don't think that's something that people can really debate. The fact that like you as a human, you're different than like material possessions, and you have a soul, you have emotions, you have feelings. So when you have any sort of sexual encounter with someone, I don't really like the phrase that a lot of Christians put out there, like your souls are tied, and that like you know, because I feel like that's just a very heavy burden. Like that sounds very heavy.
It's almost like a guilt thing.
Yeah, those boundaries were established for like good reason, but at the same time, I think that when God places someone in your path and you guys get along really well, you mesh together in ways that you have never with any other person. You just know. I know that a lot of people say that. I really don't think that us being humans and we're designed to like sexually like desire one another, that you're going to have an incompatible sex life.
Two people are in sync with one another, you're very relatable, you love each other a lot, you live both with like the same mantra and the same goals, and you're obviously sexually attracted to each other.
And I don't want to make it sound like there's not going to be times in our marriage where like sex life isn't going to be something that we'll have to work on, or that we'll always be on the same page with that, because this guy was asking a question of like, what if my wife doesn't want to have sex as much as I do? Like that's something that you work out within marriage too. That's what our older friends who've been married for years have told us, and this is what they've said, so we're simply passing on advice that they've given us. So I think just having the perspective of like, that's why communication is so important. Communicate, over communicate, everything, including this topic, because
a ton.
It's
Talk
so
about
important.
it a ton. Yeah, and to think that anyone's sex life, regardless of if you wait or not, is like always compatible and always perfect, is not real. I mean, it's not real at all. I'm totally comfortable and sure in saying that, like, this whole like mental picture of perfection in marriage and sex, and especially sex, is just, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. So. And I'm kind of thankful that it doesn't, because I just feel like there's a lot of just pictures that are trying to be painted in the culture that sex is very perfect, and that it's not messy, and that you're not getting two imperfect humans together, because that's exactly what's happening. Like it is like that sometimes, but that's, I think, what makes it beautiful. It makes it stand out. It's what makes you grow. So I think, like, thank God that it's not perfect, you know?
On we go. Time for me to ask you a question. How do we afford our wedding?
Okay, we're gonna get honest with this, because a lot of people...
How did we get that jack?
Our wedding did cost money. It cost a lot more money than I would have liked to have spent, but we paid for it mostly on our own. On our own. Wow.
We paid for it on our own.
His family helped out with the reception. My parents helped out with purchasing drinks for people. So there was some help there, but for the most part, like the video that we paid for, the photographer, flying that person in and out. Yep.
The ceremony
where people stayed,
cake,
all of that.
Yeah. Venue.
That fell on our laps, and I will say this, I haven't really disclosed this on my channel, but I own a business called Beautylicious Incorporated. It's a business that I established whenever I was 14 years old. My dad helped me out with that. He was a really big part of that for years. and we just put all of the money that I ever earned doing brand deals and AdSense money, which is really not a lot, into this business. And then I pay myself a check every 2 weeks out of that business. And so basically that's how I get paid, and I try to keep it to a minimum so that, you know, taxes, all that stuff. But pretty much the wedding was pulled from business money, a lot of that, because the wedding can be showcased on Instagram, on YouTube, and you guys got to see it. So pretty much all of the work that was shown in there can be written off as a business expense because...
And we didn't make money on our wedding.
No,
yeah,
definitely
but
not.
Not by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, we lost a lot of money, but
yeah,
it was gained.
It's a wedding.
Yeah, it was
wedding.
gained in the long term. My encouragement to those of you who want to get married young and who are maybe in the right place to do so, it's just money is a big factor. You don't have to have an extravagant wedding if you want to get married young. Pretty much if we didn't have that money and we didn't have the resources to, you know, make the wedding that I always kind of envisioned,
we would have went way smaller.
We would have just had our family.
Yeah, like we would have rented out someone's backyard or like my family's farm or something like that and invited like 50 people tops. And
but since we could, we did it. We like to use our money for good and make sure that we're making wise decisions with it. At the same time, I also have the view of like, life is short, money is gonna come and go. And so investing into our marriage and into other people on our day, making sure that they felt special as well, I think that was important. It was important to the both of us, so we decided to do that.
It was the best day of my life for sure, and I told myself my whole life that I wouldn't cry, but I cried, so a lot. Are we done? Is that it?
No, we have one more question, and it's probably the one that a lot of people are on this video for. Do we believe in birth control?
Oh, Lord, that is a heavy question.
What do we do for that? So,
well,
I know that our experience is different than everyone else's. And
we are not the experts.
Are not, at anything. And so I would just say, yes, we do believe in birth control because we believe in science and biology and know that, like, if...
and we believe in human responsibility.
Yeah, if we have sex, then there is a possibility for us to have a child, and we don't believe that we're ready to have a child.
However, if a child was created, like if there was conception, it would no doubt be carried all the way.
Yeah.
We believe that it's super important to be responsible with all the actions that you take, and I think we both know that Chelsea and I are not ready to actually have a kid.
The one that I take is just by mouth, it's just a pill. And some people decide to put a patch on their arm. Some people decide to get something inside of them to stop it. Some people, there's so many
IUD,
things nowadays.
Shot, pill, tons.
So I do think that it is smart, but I don't, I respect people who also believe that don't have birth control and they just let
nature run its course.
Yeah, then, by all means, that's great.
Fine.
But for us, we don't do that. So those were some questions that we figured that we could answer that you guys had asked in our DMs and comments. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you, and we will see you in the next episode.
Peace out!
I just said episode. I'm acting like this is a podcast.
Dang it.
Check it out.
Peace out again.
Deuces.
Later.